Emojis are everywhere, even in the courtroom. Hi there, everyone. It's Jeff, and this is Plain English on Monday, September 22nd, 2025. Today, we're reaching back into the archives of Plain English to revisit a fun story from just a couple of years ago. This was, to me, an irresistible story. Most of us use emojis in our most informal communications, but we would never think to use an emoji to sign a contract, right? Well, it turns out that emojis are not just for texting. They figure in court cases too. Judges and juries sometimes find themselves interpreting the meaning of a thumbs up or a heart emoji. This was originally episode number 608, so you can find the full text at plainenglish.com/608, or you can click the link in the show notes. Now, enjoy this archive episode from Plain English. People argue, people fight, people disagree, and the basis of these disagreements is often communication, contracts, or informal agreements. But many agreements are not carefully written. There are disputes about what they mean. So to settle those disputes, people often turn to the court system. And now, modern technology has further complicated the age-old tradition of arguing over words. What happens if an agreement includes an emoji? Don't laugh. Courts around the world are now interpreting the meaning of emojis in their cases. Here's one from Canada. Chris Actor is a farmer in the western province of Saskatchewan. He frequently worked with a dealer who would buy his grain in bulk. Well, one day, the grain dealer sent a proposed contract stating that he, the dealer, would buy 87 metric tons of flax. Flax is a type of grain. The contract specified the price. Actor, the farmer, responded with a thumbs up emoji. The grain dealer saw the thumbs up and assumed that this meant that Actor had agreed to the contract. He assumed that the thumbs up emoji meant that Actor had agreed to provide the grain at the price in the contract. Actor, however, didn't see it that way. He says that the thumbs up emoji only meant that he had received the contract, not that he had agreed to it. Actor didn't deliver the grain, and the dealer sued him. And so a Canadian court had to decide, in this case, did a thumbs up emoji mean I agree to the terms of the contract? Or did a thumbs up emoji mean I have received the contract and will respond later? In the end, the court ruled that the emoji meant the farmer had agreed to the terms and the farmer lost the case. The official ruling, hilariously, uses an actual thumbs up emoji repeatedly in the text of the official ruling. The judge said that emojis are a new reality in Canadian society. People use emojis to express themselves, so courts will have to get used to interpreting emojis. This is not the only case. An emoji now figures prominently in a securities fraud case in Washington, D.C. Securities are like stocks and bonds. So what could emojis possibly have to do with securities fraud? Just wait. Ryan Cohen is a high-profile investor. He's active on Twitter. He bought shares in Bed Bath & Beyond, a struggling and now bankrupt retailer. CNBC, a news site, published an article saying that Bed Bath & Beyond's business was failing. To accompany the story, CNBC used an archive photo of a woman pushing a cart at a Bed and Bath store. The photo could have been years old. Well, Ryan Cohen, the prominent investor in Bed and Bath, sarcastically tweeted, "At least her cart is full." Well, this made no sense since this was a years-old photo of a single customer. And now the company was going out of business. The photo was irrelevant. But Cohen tweeted, "At least her cart is full." And then, listen to this, and then he added an emoji. It was the full moon with face emoji. Now, some investors, I hesitate to call them investors. Should we just call them speculators, gamblers? Anyway, some investors interpreted the full moon with face emoji to mean high-profile investor Ryan Cohen believes this stock is going to the moon, meaning this stock is going to go up. Now, I guess this emoji is popular on Reddit investing forums. I don't know. What I do know is that on the basis of this emoji, listen to this, on the basis of this tweet with an emoji, some online investors bought the stock. Never mind that the article Cohen was commenting on was full of negative information. These investors figured that Ryan Cohen must have known something they didn't know. They thought he was saying, in secret emoji code, that the stock was going to the moon, so they bought the stock. Alas, the stock then collapsed. It went down, and those full moon emoji investors lost a lot of money. They are now suing Ryan Cohen for securities fraud. Essentially, they are suing him for saying that the stock was going to go up to the moon when in fact it was about to go down to the basement. This case has not yet gone to trial, but a court will soon have to interpret whether a full moon with face emoji was investing advice when appended to a sarcastic tweet. Court dockets are full of other examples. Courts have had to decide if a knife emoji is an actual threat of violence. They've had to decide if a heart emoji is sexual harassment. And they've had to decide whether a high heels emoji combined with a bag of money emoji implies prostitution. That one seems pretty clear, at least to me. Emojis cause confusion for a few reasons. First, there is no accepted definition of what each emoji means. People use them differently. Some emojis even have different meanings in different cultures and even among different generations. The thumbs up emoji is generally considered positive, but it's offensive in Iran, and some younger generations think it's passive-aggressive. The other problem is that every device displays emojis slightly differently. Emoji designs are not the same on iPhones as on Androids. Windows shows a different set of designs. Individual websites can show them differently too. This is important because when the designs change, people's interpretation of their meaning can change too. A 2016 study showed that the grinning face with smiling eyes emoji looked happy in Android's design, but ready to fight in Apple's iOS design. So be careful. The next time you send a text with an emoji, ask yourself whether the other person or a judge would interpret the emoji the same way. I recently heard an update on the case about the farmer in Canada. The farmer, who lost the case, wanted to appeal it to Canada's Supreme Court, but the court declined to hear the case, meaning the lower court's decision in favor of the buyer. That court decision stands. Now, at first, I thought it was so weird that courts would be interpreting emojis. It just seems like court is a serious place, and emojis are the opposite of serious. But really, so many court cases are about interpreting meaning behind communication. And emojis are just a part of the way we communicate. So maybe it shouldn't be that surprising at all. I hope you enjoyed this one. This was episode number 608. We'll do another archive episode on Thursday, a sweet one, before coming back with some new episodes next week.